Writer PH.
Ako po si Piolo Pascual and I'm happy to be spending this afternoon with you. Not just, of course, not just the people here in the venue, but also those who are also joining us virtually. I hope everyone is doing great and staying safe. Well, it's been 2 years actually since the pandemic started, and I'm sure na tulad ko, marami po tayong mga kwento na nangyari throughout this time, and of course, realizations sa buhay natin. You know, for me, I learned to value my loved ones, especially my mom, because I was stuck with her by choice during the pandemic, and I just want to highlight, of course, my mom. You know, at the height of the lockdown, we were in Batangas. We've been living there for 3 years now, and you know, it's a really special time with my mom because we were able to spend time together, bond with each other. You know, in the morning, I would force her to walk so she could do her exercise in the morning, and of course, have some vitamin D. And something kami kumakain, we watched TV together. So it was a really special moment with my mom. Kasi of course, lahat naman tayo before the pandemic, we were all busy with our work and with our personal stuff. You know, my mom and I were partners, you know, in keeping each other safe, in making the most out of the pandemic situation. You know, my mom is very caring. Some of you may know I'm a mama's boy, and I'm proud to say that because of course my mom really raised us by herself, and I wouldn't be here standing in front of you if my mom, you know, didn't raise us or didn't bring us up the way that she did. Anyway, so I'm thankful for her for that. Kayo, who do you consider your partner in life? Diba? Whoever they are, guys, let us celebrate them for making our lives brighter. Kagaya ko, you know, this video I'm gonna show you, pamilya din po ang naging inspirasyon ng overseas Filipino worker na si Jolina Kabigdig. She's all the way from London. She works here as an accountant, and she works hard for their future. Also,
to a partner for life.
you know, Secretary Berna. Well, top of mind, as you were asking, the question was dependability. You need somebody that is dependable, because otherwise, you'll just pull each other down. And somebody that has financial literacy, somebody that can help you decide and, you know, advise you or tell you where to put your money or how to use your money wisely, and somebody that you can really trust, just like what you said. Because mahirap when it comes to money. Diba? Parang we're always after our success, to have more money, to have more financial freedom. But at the end of the day, if your partner is not on the same page, of course, it's not going to be as healthy. So somebody that, you know, you can share. Actually, I would just like to echo what Carla was saying. You know, you share the same values when it comes to financial literacy, and I think that's it. And somebody that would really care for your welfare and that really cares for you.
Actually, very much so. And with that, you know, I'd like to segue to Jeff now. Jeff, you are a test.
Please, lagi natin minimension yung word na, oy, this is, this is my partner in life. So, kailan kaya namin maririnig na ipapakilala mo kami sa partner in life?
Ako rin, hihintay ko yun.
Dave?
Tsaka during the pandemic ba, di mo naisip na, oy, sana may partner in life ako na kasama ko dun aside from me.
Alright, to tell you honestly, during this pandemic, I realized it's not about having a partner per se, physically, but it is about having the independence, you know, to just live your life one day at a time. And so this pandemic has taught me a lot of discipline, and it taught me to just really appreciate life for whatever it gives you by the day. And so for me, it's hard to put it in words, but it's if and when it comes, then of course I will have to introduce her to you. I will have to really, of course, be proud of that feeling and just share it with everybody. But it's not something that I see on the horizon anywhere near. So just focus on my work, just focus on whatever I have in hand, and let's see where it takes me.
Oh, thank you. Next question. Probably since, di ba, with Sunlife, super secure na yung future mo, di ba naisip na mag-retire sa showbiz?
Well, actually, I said that before I turned 40. I'm 45, and I was talking to Dear Kathy Garcia, who did the Kumu serie, and she just signed with ABS for a couple of years. So I told her, sabi ko, direct, huwag na tayo magsasabi ng retirement. Kasi parang hindi naman din natutuloy. So, I mean, for me, this is my passion. I love what I do, and being in this business gives me meaning. So, I was, I guess, being immature when I feeling burnt out, back then. And you can call it a midlife crisis, because you're too loaded up with work. And at this point in my life, I just want to continue doing what I'm doing. And this is really, something that I really appreciate, being in this business, being in front of you guys, and just sharing my life. So, just the same thing. It's not on the horizon for me, retiring and all. As long as I feel I'm needed in this business, or there's something I can contribute, and I'll stay on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Salve. And I would just like to make a follow-up on that by asking Carla.
Kinabahan ako doon.
Pagiging generous mo, sobrang open to help groups na kailangan ng tulong when it comes to mga outreach programs namin. You were always there to support us. So thank you, Papa P.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
Partner for life with si Piolo ng Speed. I love
Oh yes, we're proud of it.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, agree. Okay, Neil Ramos, of course, Entertainment and Curtain.
Magandang hapon, Papa P. Boss, yes, gusto ko lang malaman kung ano specifically yung mga plans niya.
Ay, marami. Well, you want to talk about it? My sister actually is here as well. But I just wanted to share about Fit and Well, because like what Jeff is saying, it's really, going beyond your insurance, because it really protects you from illnesses and for emergencies. And it's just, that's why I said there's parallelism with Sunlife, because as the years progress, there's always a new plan, there's always a new policy, there's always something better that you can choose. It's not just about getting an insurance. It's about broadening your portfolio and knowing that there are other policies that you can actually use to solidify your financial dependency. Kaya ba? So, so much. I have more than a dozen policies, so every year, whatever is new, I always get it. Because I know that, it really helps me secure my future, not just for myself, but also for my family. I'm okay, but I also do this for my family, my mom, my kid, my siblings, and everyone else. So, ang dami natin, iba-iba kasi yung policies natin, and my gosh, but I just really, when Jeff was sharing his story about Sun Fit and Well, it's parang my favorite for now, because it really protects you, especially if you're active and it's, in life, there are accidents, there are circumstances na hindi natin mapipigilan, and there's so much protection when you get these policies. So, accident. Marami kasi. Every year I would get one or two, just to make sure that there's something to it. I don't know, Kyle, you wanna?
I think, I'd like to build up on that question by asking Carla, ilan ba exactly ang dapat na meron ka?
Yun nga kasi dapat we always think in our head, just one insurance is fine, one policy is fine, but it's not. I always share it with my colleagues in the business. I always, like sila Robbie, when I'm in ASAP or when I'm in the studio, I would always tell them, one policy is not enough. Not because I endorse Sunlife, but because it's really practical. So, Ms. Carla?
Actually, my advice is the way we look at our products and solutions, and even our own financial needs. Kasi there are several, diba? So the first one would be, I would say, protection, financial protection. Especially if you have dependents relying on your income for their day-to-day needs. So that's one. The second would be, as Piolo and Jeff's and my favorite product, something for health, because we know mahal magkasakit, and just one big critical illness, it can wipe our savings. So that's my second. And then the third financial need is if you want to build a fund for your life goals, like retirement or probably also education of your children, business, and even, just to grow your money. And so we also have products that can help you with those goals.
I would say that I would bring my family. I would consider my family because I can always travel. I can always do my travels whenever I want to. But being with family is a very important thing because you want to share the memories with them. So for now, when I travel, I always consider my family. I always consider the kids because I want them to spend time with their parents, my siblings, and my mom. And I always consider my mom because she's 76, so I always take into consideration how much time she can walk or how much she can handle in terms of going around town. And in terms of budgeting, of course, you try to book ahead of time. You really try to plan ahead of time, so mas mura. Mas mura pa yung mga tickets. You have to be practical at the end of the day, especially if you're spending for everyone. But other than that, you just go with the flow. As long as you're with your loved ones, then you're okay.
Kuripot lang sa sarili, but very generous when it comes to other people. There you go. We have another question, Ms. Tess, from the floor.
Yes, before I ask your question, Papa P, I love you, birthday girl G. Chiliana, entertainment editor.
Wow, happy birthday!
Okay, her question is, anong year ka naging financially literate at sino ang nagturo sa'yo at reason for you to start maging conscious about your finances?
I was in the States in the 90s, late 90s, and then when I moved back here in 98, I thought, of course, just like what I was saying a while ago, this is not going to be forever, so I came back here to work and just really save up. So early on in my career, I was in my early 20s. I already got my policies, I already got my insurance. And even for my nieces, my son, I got him an educational plan, and just to secure everything. So it's always been, parang for me, you don't spend what you earn. You save it up. You save for the rainy days. And lumaki kasi ako sa paluwagan in school. Diba? Alam naman natin yung paluwagan. So you keep your money in the bank or you keep your money with the leader of the group, and then after a while, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, you see your money and it grew. Parang, it gives you that pride that you have discipline. So early on in my life, I knew that, kailangan mo talagang magtipid, kailangan mo mag-save because it's what can give you financial freedom. I would say my first purchase of a house, I had to loan it, and after that, hindi na ako nag-loan. Parang I just really worked non-stop and took advantage of the opportunity that came my way. So I never changed my lifestyle, so I wouldn't want to say that I was financially independent, but I just relied on, I guess, the savings I had, and just, never, lived beyond my means. So with Sunlife's help and with my sister as my financial advisor, I just realized that there are other ways that you can save up for the future and for your family.
Thank you so much, Piolo, for sharing that. And I mean,
curious lang sila anong hinahanap na sa Piolo Pascual na magiging partner in life. So,
Magaling maglaba.
Si Muy Bien.
You don't actually look for that. Di ba? Parang kasi pag dumating na yun eh. So, it's hard to have a criteria or a requirement because when you feel it, I think that will only happen, or you will be able to find the words when you see that person, and you go from there. Hindi kasi ako naghahanap eh. Yun ang mahirap dun eh. But there would come a time for me to settle down. I wouldn't have any criteria or requirement, so to speak, because at the end of the day, it's about the heart. It's about your feelings. So if you feel something for that person might have something that really complements fulfills you or gives you that feeling of excitement and feeling, that you have to be with someone. So, wala naman siguro, hindi naman hinahanap yung dumarating na lang.
With the love that shines bright like the sun.
Amen.
Pero Piolo, do you believe in the ideal girl?
I believe in destiny. I believe in something that happens out of fate, something that happens out of divine intervention or divine appointments. And I believe in magic. I believe in something that is, electrifying. Of course, when that person comes, then that person will be the ideal partner.
Last Piolo, may product lang ako. Kasi parang share mo kanina yung experience mo with your mother, yung relationship with her. Ano yung hinahanap mo sa isang girl na meron yung mother mo, na sana meron din yung magiging partner in life mo soon?
Values, and your heart is in the right place, and love for family, love for a country, and just having that relationship with the Lord.
Thank you, Piolo.
Yung endorser ng Sunlife, without broaching much about your mga private investment, sa tingin mo yung pinakamalaking investment na nagawa mo out of your talent fee from Sunlife?
When I invest when I was in my 20s, I'm in my 40s and it's been 20 years, so I have a pension that I can rely on anytime. So I have a pension that gives me a certain amount every year, and I'm just 45 because I started early.
Wala bang tangible like production or whatever?
Some investment? Spring films kasi, abonado pa ako eh. So,
Totoo ba yan?
Minsan nakaka-jackpot kami, minsan abonado. So it's just a proper balance. But investment-wise, I would say, aside from my insurances, which I started more than 20 years ago, real estate. Real estate is something that I've been focusing on since I started this business. Mami Vilma Santos was the one who told me about it when I was doing Gana Setenta, because she said that's what saved her, real estate. So from the time that I started in my 20s, I would just buy, aside from the policies that I would get on the side, I would invest in real estate. So yun po yung naging portfolio mo, aside from showbiz.